Swing it, boys, swing for the fence. Shove it, boys, make 'em miss. Some big league chew and a baseball souvenir. Come on, sing with me now. The Joe is home, sweet home. It's roll, tide, roll. The Joe is home, that's right. Home, sweet home. Hey, look, is that Roll Tide Willie over there? Blitz, Bama, Blitz.
Welcome in, everyone. It's the Weekly Joe podcast. It is a very, very special edition of the Weekly Joe podcast. It's always Mother's Day here at the Weekly Joe, but it's really Mother's Day this weekend. And so tonight, to celebrate that and to honor our mothers, we have three very, very special guests. I'm going to introduce them kind of from my lower left to my right. Actually, I'm going to introduce them in the order you know them. We've got Fay Day, Tiffany Fay, mother of Tyler Fay. We got Amanda Adams on Saturday, Zane Adams' mom. And then we've got Chi'Cara Upchurch, Church on Sunday, who actually coined the phrase Church on Sunday. She was the first one to tweet it out, right?
Exactly.
Yes. So she's got the rights to it. We've run with it. We've run with the whole the weekend combo, and I think everybody's had a good time with it. Unfortunately, about half our series this year have been on a Thursday, Saturday rotations, so we haven't been able to play it. But we do go back to our conventional Fay Day, Saturday, Church on Sunday this weekend as we go to South Carolina. We thought it'd be a great idea with Mother's Day coming up to get with our crew here and talk a little bit about the journey of mothers and sons, and we can throw fathers in there or whatever we need to do. But mothers' involvement in their guys' playing days and getting into this point, kind of the journey for these three in particular to get to Alabama and beyond, and some of their favorite moments. Hopefully learn a little bit about the moms, hopefully learn a little about the players in the process. I'm Paul Graham. I've got Roger Myers here with us as usual. From the Southern office this week with the Alabama Gump Room in the background. We were discussing in the green room earlier, the 67 behind him for Major League players is up to, we think, 74 today, right? Jim Jarvis getting his debut.
That's right. I believe it's 74 is correct. Because pre-lip was up earlier this year. So
yep, 73 and then 74. And so Jim got his debut today in Seattle with the Braves. Very proud of him. Just 3 short years ago, ladies, does it feel like you think ahead 3 years, what might be? You think of that far ahead? Myles, maybe a little bit. These two with the drafts coming up, does it feel like it's gone by fast here?
Very.
Yep.
Super fast. Very fast.
Yeah. We were talking a little bit about early on about in particular Amanda Zane's visit here, which probably would have been what in 2023 maybe or
2022 because he graduated in 2030.
In 23, and so and here you are. You're down to maybe one home SEC weekend, and hopefully
I can't talk about that. That gets me emotional.
We're gonna try to open the tear ducts at some point here tonight, and if we do that, I will have done my job. I will. And then we got the young pup. Church has got a little way to go, but is the freshman year gone by fast, Chi'Cara?
It has. I mean, we were just in, the opening weekend and then in Dallas, and next thing you know, there's 2 weekends left. So it's super fast.
Yeah.
It goes faster every year. I'm the oldest one here, and I can attest to that.
Yeah. We're coming to you tonight from, I guess, 4 different states. Chi'Cara, you're in Odenton, Maryland. Tell me a little about where you're from, kind of where you grew up, and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm not from this area. I'm actually from West Virginia. I'm a West Virginia girl, but I've been here since 2005 when myself and Myles' father got married. So we've been in this area. And Odenton is about 35 minutes outside of Baltimore and also about 45 minutes outside of D.C. Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Tiffany from Nebraska. It's Doniphan. How do I say it? Doniphan?
Doniphan, but we actually just moved to Grand Island.
Now in Grand Island. Okay. All right.
12 miles.
An island in the middle of Nebraska.
Literally just moved like last week.
Yep, we did. Grand Island. for some reason, I don't know why it's called Grand Island, but there's rivers that surround it. And so it's kind of like on an island, but
Okay. All right.
there's
All right.
really,
We'll take it. A
there's,
little bit like Pittsburgh. You got the confluence of three rivers, something like that.
yeah.
Amanda, Porter, Texas. Tell them a little bit about Porter. Porter,
So,
special place in my heart, as my wife is from Kingwood, Houston area, and grew up.
So that's Derek graduated from Kingwood. I graduated from Humble, and it's all within like 10 miles of each other. If anyone's ever flown to IAH, which is the bigger airport, we're like 10 minutes up the road. So
right up the road. Yeah. Yeah. North on 45, as you know, I remember. So Evelyn's family were all out in Houston and Huntsville, and this is the early 90s. And you used to drive from Houston to Huntsville, which is, depending on where you start, 50, 60 miles. And there was some undeveloped corridor through there. Now I don't think there's any. I think it's all.
It's all. What's funny is Huntsville was in Zane's district his senior year. So like we traveled, I mean, his district, one of the teams was about 3 hours away. It was very strange district, but I do think she needs to come back because she would be shocked. It's just so different. Right. I mean, it's different from when I was in school.
Right. There's a 75-foot statue of Sam Houston right by the interstate, white marble. It's interesting. The guy's got a town named after him. He's got a university named after him, but he also has a 75-foot statue by the interstate. So a lot of Sam Houston commemorations. Talk to us. We'll start with you, Chi'Cara. Talk to us about recruitment and how Myles chose Alabama.
Oh, well, our story is pretty simple. Coach Vaughn recruited Myles when Myles, they started looking at Myles when he was in 9th grade at St. Albans School in Washington, D.C. We loved Vaughn then, committed to University of Maryland. When we got the news that he was leaving to go to Alabama, it wasn't immediate that we jumped to Alabama. We did decommit, and then we did the whole SEC tour. And then we still were in love with Vaughn and Papio and Coach Morrison. And then when we met Coach JJ, it was just a no-brainer. Alabama was where we needed to be.
What were his other top 2 or 3 after Maryland, like on your tour?
Well, so when he started being recruited the second time, they had just changed the rules where you had unlimited visits. But Myles was a football player, so we only had like 2 weekends. He could only choose 2 weekends to go because he only had 2 open slots on a weekend to travel. And he was recruited by the majority of like all the top programs, but he chose to go to Texas and Texas A&M. So we met Slosh and Max Wiener at A&M, and then the Texas program as well. We're familiar with both.
Yeah, right. Amanda, we'll pick you up there because Zane obviously was heavily recruited. We heard Slosh talk about that after the Texas series when he was talking about recruiting him at A&M. But how did it kind of narrow down for Zane?
So Zane started getting recruited by because back the rules have changed.
Yeah, right.
So they start contacting him or through his travel ball coach. We would actually call the coach. They would set up a time slot, and then we'd call his freshman year, and then he committed or verbally committed. And I think it was September of his sophomore year to Alabama.
And that was Brad and Matt Rada, right?
Yeah, that was
the 2.
A different coaching staff. I think a lot of people know that Derek, Zane's dad, my husband, he was born in Alabama. Both of his parents went to Alabama. Addison, our daughter, came home from the hospital in Alabama. And the only reason why I agreed to that was because the A. I was like, well, that could be for Addison or Adams.
Gut blanket.
Zane has been a diehard Alabama football fan his entire life. And so it was going to be hard to eat. It didn't, I mean, obviously a lot goes into it, but his heart with Alabama, it was just always, and I mean, at the time, the coach for A&M, who's no longer there, his son played on the same travel ball thing. So like we had like a personal relationship with them, and, but he knew once Alabama made the offer that
Amanda, Rob tells the story of like when he got the job, the first two places he went were Porter, Texas and Miramar, Florida to see Zane and to see Justin. And that he got to the house and knocked on the door and you answered the door and he realized you had gone to high school with him.
So I had already gotten I think it was a Wednesday when they announced Rob.
Yeah.
And I was at I think Pierce's practice, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And then all of a sudden, all of the moms of the baseball players that I graduated with, they are sending me messages like, this is the biggest blessing, because it was a very hard time because Zane got with the draft. I mean, he always, that entire school year, we had scouts at the house every week. And it really, when all of that happened, it kind of made it like, well, is a draft now like
tougher
decision. I was afraid it was going to push him in that direction. So that visit from Rob was so important. Because one, him and Zane connected immediately. And if you know Zane, he's a little shy. It takes a little bit for him to warm up. So the fact that almost immediately they he got Zane talking within 5 minutes of being at the house. So
nice.
For me, it was like back to I wanted Zane to make the decision that he felt led to make, not based on someone, staff's changing and
other pressure. Yeah. Tiffany, a little different story for Tyler. Maybe not as heavily recruited as these two were.
No, completely
about
different.
that story and how'd that work out for you?
So it worked out awesome. That was true. But yeah, Tyler was not recruited really by anybody in high school. And during the fall of his senior year, my husband signed him up for a travel ball team out of Omaha, which is 2 hours east of us. Yeah. And so he tried out for the team, and he didn't even think that he was going to make it. He had no confidence in himself. He's like, nope, I'm not going to make it. We took him. He tried out, and they told him right away, you made the team. And then, so he played the first weekend with them and then got moved up to their national team. And so they went to Indianapolis, and he was throwing on a Saturday, and I think it was a Saturday, and he threw 2 innings. And then they found out that the guy that was supposed to start on Sunday got hurt playing football. And so they said, Tyler, can we pull you and have you start tomorrow? Yeah. Like, yeah, that's fine. And so he started again the next day. And that's when Matt Rada saw him. Well, actually, it was a White Sox scout, I believe, that saw him and got a hold of Matt Rada and said, you've got to see this kid from Nebraska. He's not committed. I don't know how. And, so then he sent a video to Matt because Matt couldn't get there in time or whatever. Well, Tyler had no idea this was going on, got done pitching. They got in the car to drive back home. And all of a sudden, he's on his phone and he sees that Matt Rada started following him on Instagram or whatever, or Twitter. Whatever. He's like, oh, who's this? And he's like, oh my gosh, an Alabama guy just started following me. Well, and then he got a message from him. He's like, oh, Matt Rada just messaged me. He wants to call me. And so then Tyler says, yeah, I can talk to you. And so then he called him, and Tyler dropped his phone. He was like sweating. He's like, oh my gosh. So
I've never seen him nervous.
No, as I say, a little bit like dating, right? A little bit like
exactly. But Matt said that he was very impressed and was going to go back and talk to the pitching coach, which JJ. And they offered him a preferred walk-on spot the next day. So
right, and so he basically redshirted in 23. I guess the year we went to the regional team, or was just kind of around the team. I guess that year, not really technically on the roster. I guess. 24 is out there throwing in pretty high leverage middle relief situations. And then last year was a little bit in that role like a Heiberger is now, where it's like, I might get in a couple of times on the weekend or of course we had a lot of midweek games that we had to nail down with our better arms in our bullpen, but he was doing a lot of that. And then Burley has excelled, and kind of, as they say, the rest is history. One of you mentioned, it was football. I guess Myles played football. Other sports he played, Chi'Cara?
Oh, yes. In high school, he played football, basketball, and baseball. His freshman, sophomore year, and then his junior year, he cut the basketball. Then his senior
Okay.
year, he only played
Yeah.
baseball.
A little bit of everything. Tiffany, Tyler play any other sports? It's kind of tall kid, but basketball player.
Yep, high school, he played basketball and
Yeah.
baseball all
Yeah.
through high school.
Right.
Was
Speaking
he
of
was
tall
a pretty good
kids,
basketball player, wasn't
Yeah, he was.
right.
he? Did you play?
I was about to say,
I did not. I am tall, and everybody said, "Oh, you must have played basketball." I could not.
Did surely Brian did.
yeah,
Brian did
Brian
play
Brian
basketball.
did. Yeah, Brian's got the build. Amanda, Zane, another tall kid. Other sports.
He played
other sports?
everything. Now he stopped football and basketball after his freshman year.
Yeah.
It's a little different in Texas.
Yeah,
It's,
no doubt. Big school, big schools too.
It's just really it was more the coach, the baseball coach did not, because basketball goes too much into
it does
our season, and then football. His 8th grade year, he broke his fibula and tibia.
Yeah, okay, that's enough of that.
And
did he play quarterback?
Yes, he was quarterback,
Awesome.
but then he was wide receiver. I don't know.
Okay.
Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
hear
I
you.
can now.
Fine. Yep. Just broke it. Yep. Yeah.
It broke for a second, but it's okay now.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. Chi'Cara, I think you, Roger told me you were a softball player.
Yeah, I was raised on the softball field. I was raised in the diamond, and as soon as Myles was old enough, I had him out there. I was the one training him.
So were you a pitcher?
I was a pitcher.
wow.
Yeah.
And
so
a
I
hitter too, but
definitely-
you were a hitter too, though, weren't you?
Yeah, in softball, you hit and pitch, but I definitely understood pitch sequence and all the things, and I understood the importance of biomechanics. So I just got him going in the right direction, like right out the gate.
All right, so the three of you. All right, let's talk about that. How much of an influence were? Obviously, you were pretty influential in him developing as a pitcher. Apparently, how about the two of you? Did they and even now? Do they talk shop with you? Do you critique their outing? Do you question pitch selection and things like that?
So I cheered at Southern Miss, and so I kind of stay in that role. Like I cheer him on. I do I've been around the sport my whole life, so I understand it, but I let Dad take that as far as like the coach,
Sure.
I don't give instructions. I can't tell you. I mean, y'all can tell the difference between a curveball and a changeup. I mean, I look at the velo and I can kind of tell, but like other than that, I'm just a ball of nerves. And
all right. How about you,
do
Tiffany?
a lot of pacing.
You do pace.
though, I've been sitting.
You've been better.
Tiffany
You've
had
done
a talk
better,
with
yeah.
I'm
me.
so proud of you, Amanda.
She had a talk with me, and I really tried.
I mean, if everybody could be as cool as Tiffany,
I know.
Tiffany is like, I mean, she's like
ice water.
Rob says, slow heartbeat. Really, what's his number? It's the thing about.
Oh yeah. But, well, he says all those guys, all three of y'all sons. He always says they have slow heartbeat. Like they don't get shook on the mound.
No,
I mean,
really
we're probably one of the few rotations in the country where we've had the same 3 starters in the same spots all season. I mean, here we are 8 weeks into the SEC season, and
tough to do in this
not one
conference.
of them's missed a start, and they haven't flip flop because of performance or lack of performance or anything. So it's amazing that they've done, and that's a testament to the families and to them for sure.
Yeah. Tiffany, pitcher mom, how did you help with development there, or did it just kind of come
I
naturally?
played catch with him when he was little. I've heard that kids get their athletic ability from their mom, so I'm taking credit for all of it. Just kidding. But no, Brian has been his pitching coach. Tyler has never had a pitching coach until he got to Alabama with JJ.
Oh wow. That's awesome.
And so, Brian has helped him and works in the backyard with him. And I remember when he was little, they'd be in our yard, and Tyler would want Brian to throw him ground balls, and so Tyler would have to dive for him. He's like, throw it out here. No, throw it out there.
I did that when I was a kid every day.
We used the
I
mailbox.
had to get dirty.
Yep.
Derek and Zane would use the mailbox as like a batter. Like when he hit, they would like the mailbox would be his batter. they also used Pierce, which he was way too young. I mean,
Yeah.
we did something that we
Yeah,
should
he's
not
like
have
5.
allowed.
Yeah.
I mean, and so it was not smart. But
No.
Derek,
Uh,
I think Derek and Brian were talking. They both did like the velo belt with the boys
Mhm.
at home. I mean, they really went into the train because Derek, his advisor would fly in and do some like but he's never really had a pitching coach either.
Never
So
been. Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
it was
I remember
Did
Tyler's
Myles' high
first.
school? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say Tyler's redshirt freshman year, he still had to throw and send videos to JJ. And actually, maybe it was like his Thanksgiving and Christmas break of his sophomore year then.
Mhm.
And he didn't have anywhere to train here in Grand Island. And so we just had like a rubber that we put into our backyard that had a little bit of slope. And so Tyler would throw on that and send these videos to JJ. And JJ's like, do you think maybe you can find a facility like so we found it.
Nebraska's pretty flat. You can't find an 8-inch mound anywhere, in that state anywhere. So
throw it the corn. You can use the corn stalks as batters.
There you go. Those can be the batters.
It is interesting though. I mean, because my kids, I had 4 kids. I had an older son and a daughter. My older son never really played baseball. Well, my 2 younger ones did, and my next youngest one actually, played at the Naval Academy a couple of years.
Oh, wow.
Played through high school. When he was a kid, all he wanted to do was be a catcher. Well, and I mean, you all know, until about 10 or 12 years old, when the players are actually pitching, the catcher doesn't do a hell of a lot, right? He's catching the pitching machine or the coach pitch, and it's all about, they're just holding your hands up and freezing the play. They don't try to throw guys out at home. And he wanted to play catcher because he liked the gear. And he would play a game and he'd get so upset because the kid from second wouldn't throw it home to try to get a guy out. And after the game, I'd have to just like go out there and I pitched. I'd have to get out there and like throw him pitches after the game. And he's got real catcher's mitt, and I'm throwing, still whatever age I was at the time. But I mean, I can still throw the ball in the 60s or low 70s, maybe. And so I'm throwing to this like 8-10-year-old at that, and he's like, but when he stopped wanting to catch, he started wanting to be, ended up being a shortstop. Well, his mom, Evelyn, spent hours in the backyard learning to like fungo. Would pick up a bat, throw the ball up, grab it with 2 hands and swing it, and just hit hours upon hours of ground balls at him in the backyard. He just never ends. So never discount what a mom's influence on a boy's baseball career might be, because I mean that's how he ended up evolving from a catcher.
You want to talk about Zane? Still to this day will argue. Well, maybe not now, but even through high school, I felt like he always wanted to catch. He was like, "Why won't they let left-handers be a catcher?" Like he never. I mean, it frustrated him when he was young.
Yeah, right. I don't know about your 2 guys, Chi'Cara. I do know your son Myles could swing it pretty well. I think when he was. Was he a hitter as well?
Yeah, so I just really believe in the importance of athleticism. So we just made the decision he was going to be a 2-way until he couldn't be any longer.
Yeah.
It's really important
Right.
to stay athletic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember seeing his high school videos and still swinging it, or and all. When's the last time you two ladies guys took a hack with a bat?
Actually not that long ago. We have a place called, it's kind of like a Topgolf, but it's with baseball.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm much better than what the results showed. No, Zane he did it all. Like he didn't go PO until.
Yep.
I mean, like in the big events, like the PGL American, all that kind of stuff, he was a PO, but high school, he hit 400, I think is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
First base, probably.
First base.
Yep.
And the only thing that they had to stop was, so his junior year, he was stealing second to third, and it wasn't a breakaway base, and he broke like all kinds of stuff in his leg, and it was kind of like Sam's injury, actually. So at that point, they were like, no more stealing. Which, I mean, I think he still stole, but
Tiffany, could Tyler rake earlier in the day?
He was a really good winner, yeah. And
First base also.
He was
Or
a shortstop.
Shortstop.
Oh, really? Okay.
Shortstop and pitcher. Yep.
6'6" shortstop. All right.
Yep. But yeah, he could hit. And actually, it's his dream to hit at Alabama. And Vaughn told him that if he comes back again next year, he'll let him back.
That's awesome.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
He'll get the hit in the 7th inning of the midweek game against Alabama State, but he'll
There you
tell
go.
you about right.
He'd take it. He'd do it.
That's
fantastic.
awesome.
I used to
I've
be
been
a
around
pretty
this
good hitter myself. We
Oh,
would
yeah.
have family reunions.
Yeah.
And we'd have like big family baseball games or whatever. And I would love to hit. That was always my favorite.
Yeah.
And I'm with Amanda. I always thought I was better than I probably was.
Well, I've been around
played
here a long
softball
time,
growing
and every pitcher always thinks they could hit. They all, could still hit because they probably,
Yeah.
majority of them did in high school, of course. I mean, they're one of the
Right.
best athletes, and they're, it's like their shortstop pitcher, center field pitcher, or whatever.
Yeah.
I always asked Zane if they let them, and he was like, "No, Mom, they're not going to let." And then, but now with golf, he doesn't want to mess up his golf swings. Like in high school, he went and played golf because he didn't want to mess up his
baseball swing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Pitchers are always the golfers because like spring training in the big leagues, they get all the off time.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do their work and they leave, and everybody else has to stay around.
Right. These guys want to hit until they have to go face a Dylan Volantis slider or something like that. You just don't know what you're getting into. Talk about superstitions. I mean, baseball players are very superstitious. Moms, I'm sure, are very superstitious. Chi'Cara, do you have any superstitions? You got to be sitting in a certain place. You got to. How describe your game day? The aura around you on a game day. What is that like?
Well, I'm pretty intense. I'm super intense, but I will say, like, I'm not superstitious at all. I do pray over Myles before every game. So that's the constant thing that I do. I pray over him every game, and I speak excellence. Like, I'm really big on. I don't receive negativity. I don't receive the what ifs. It's always. He's going to be great. We're going to be great. Everything is good. We're going to win. Like, it's always, I speak success. I manifest it. And I just firmly believe in that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you chat or do you talk? Do you find yourself talking during? I never shut up during.
Yeah, yes. I
sat next to her in Texas. Yes, I can attest.
Yes, I absolutely do. It's a lot of talk. It's like I said, I believe in, like, you can speak things into existence. So if the 3-2 count, I'm like, this is a strike. This is a strike.
Yeah.
Like I speak. And if you sit around me like Roger did, you probably think I'm a weirdo.
Not at all.
I didn't know you sat by anyone. I always wave and like catch you, and like during the innings, I come and try to find you, but I didn't know that you sat with anyone.
I've always sat in center field up until Alabama, because I can't sit in center field anymore. But now at the Alabama baseball field, there's a seat that's in the front row in the corner of the parents section. I almost want to say, like, everybody, let me just sit there, because nobody can walk in front of me, and I'm kind of like around everybody, but I'm off enough to myself, and I don't know when people are walking in front of me, and I'm like, because I'm like super intense.
It's a big social event for a lot of them.
And I'm not a casual watcher. I am very intensely involved mentally in every pitch. So, but Roger got to sit beside me, and he got to see some of my antics. So.
Well, you want intense. Yeah, you want intense during the game. You ask Roger about the time Big Al stood up in front of him
or Caitlin Collins.
Or Caitlin Collins.
Yeah, you don't stand up in front of me during the game. And you need some baseball etiquette where you don't go through an aisle in the middle of a batter.
Yeah.
Or, there's people, it's like people have never been to a game before.
Well, that's the kind of stuff I just try to separate to avoid, because I am not a casual watcher,
No.
Like, I can tell you every detail about every game and every inning, but from 5 years ago, like, I see everything and I remember everything. I'm very intense.
Yeah. Tiffany, we've been around you a lot at these games, and I mean, you're pretty calm, like we said, we're pretty calm, superstitious about things, or just
Tyler's superstitious. He eats sushi before every game.
Okay. Yeah.
And after his no-hitter, Chloe had to wear the same outfit every game, which that's so hard for Chloe, because Chloe is so fashion forward, and she just looks so beautiful, and she had to wear the same outfit. So he dressed it up different ways or whatever, but it was always the shirt that she made that said Fay across it.
Yeah.
my husband, Brian, wore the same black shirt. And so, yeah, they were all superstitious. I just think like there is nothing that I can do that's going to change the outcome. Like God's got it already planned and he has it already written. And there's nothing I can do. Is Tyler out there? And like, I would get nervous before or whatever. And Tyler's like, why are you nervous? You are not out on the mound. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I'm not.
But you do have your sweet pants.
I do have my sweet pants. Yes.
When we win Friday and Saturday, Tiffany wears her sweet pants, and we tend to sweep when she does. But the best thing is when their daughter Addie comes, she's been to 3 series.
We had
Florida, Auburn, and Vanderbilt, and we swept.
I know. She has to come to the rest. Like there's just
she cannot stay at home.
We are not going this weekend to South Carolina because my nephew graduates. But my husband is really seriously thinking about sending Addie on a plane to South Carolina.
I'm on board with that plan, just so you know. I'm on board with that.
Derek can send a plane.
Amanda, we've documented you're a little bit of a bundle of energy kind of during the game a little bit, but now you're kind of chilled a little bit, maybe gotten used to the rigors of the SEC schedule now.
I still don't really like to sit by anyone. I kind of sit on a corner and that I can have easy access that I can leave if I need to leave. And I don't love like hearing people like good or bad. It makes me anxious. So I always have a pair of like earbuds in my bag just in case, so I can put them in
case you need it.
But it's not that anyone, our fans would say anything around me. It's me. It's just me. So
it's internalized. Yeah.
There would be some that would say stuff, but they would not realize that
they wouldn't know who they're
that you were you.
Yeah.
But
go ahead,
that not sitting with anybody includes your husband and kids too. Because
totally separate.
Especially my husband. Like now I will text him. I'll be like, what's going on? Can you say something?
And he's 2 rows over. Yeah. Chi'Cara, you're about to jump in. I think
and we pray with Zane in the outfield, but right before he goes in the bullpen,
that's
even
awesome.
like away games I've tried. Now there was one Ole Miss's freshman year. I surprised him. He didn't know I was there until the end of the game. So I prayed for him, but we didn't pray together like we normally do.
Yeah. Chi'Cara, you were about to say something.
No, I just completely related to that. When I'm home and I'm watching the games on TV, when Myles pitches, I watch it until he goes off. I watch it on mute.
Yeah.
I watch it on mute. I don't want to hear anything. Yeah.
That Zane's freshman year on those Tuesday games before he got put in the weekend rotation, and we have great announcers. It has nothing to do with them. They're great. I couldn't
do it. Well, you said something there. I mean, you talk about like until he comes out. How does it feel as a mom when the 2 outs in the 6th and they come out, they've thrown their 105 pitches and they've had a good. What's the sense? Is there a sense of relief? Does it make it worse? Because then you're like, oh, I gotta hope these other guys don't blow this thing, or hope these guys start getting some runs. I mean, how does Chi'Cara? How does that kind of feel? Is it what's the release like when he's out, and then and also like when their guys are throwing? Are you a lot more relaxed on those days? Clearly, probably.
I'm very relaxed when anybody else is out there other than Myles. if I know Myles is going to pitch, I don't eat anything the whole day and I don't drink anything the whole day. So the moment he comes out, I'm finally like, I need some water because I haven't drank anything and I haven't ate anything all day. It helps control my anxiety, I think.
Yeah. How about you too?
I have gotten more because we've gotten so close with Tyler. And Myles, like I do get not on the same level, but like I'm very, because I want everyone to do so well. But there is when Zane comes out, I don't eat, I'm immediately, and I think my body is all tense. So then I'm like tired. I'm like, I need a nap room or something. But so I don't eat before he pitches, and so I am hungry when he comes out.
Yeah. How about you, Tiff?
I I look like I'm cool, calm, and collected, but I'm very anxious.
Facade.
Like, I think my muscles tense up or whatever. And so when Tyler's done, I can just like breathe easier. But I'm with Amanda. Like, I literally feel like Zane and now Myles too are like my kids too. Like, I just pray for them. I want them to do so well.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Well, if
I
it's
just
any,
love this team. Like,
there's
everybody
nothing,
feels like
there's
family.
nothing unusual about it. I mean, I kind of feel like we kind of invest our whole self-worth into how the weekend's going to go. Some of these games will just tear at you. I mean, like, Roger, you think about remember that LSU game? I remember it was last year, or year before, and we're up. We were up like 4-1, and it felt like they were going to inch away, and the offense had just shut down. And we were kind of famously, I was like, I don't know if we can win this game with 4 runs, but we're about to find out because we ain't scoring again.
Yeah.
And it was just on the bullpen to shut it in. We won it like 4-3. Those games like that are just agonizing and I feel it because I feel it. You probably take more of a kinship or a likening to your starters because they're out there. It's like watching a tennis match or something. It's that one guy or the one lady. It's the one player. They're kind of out there on an island on their own. Now they got defense behind them, and sometimes our defense is not behind them. But we've got this year. But you do kind of. I feel even not as a mother, but even as a fan, you have a different feeling for those guys than maybe you feel for the guy that comes in behind them. Nothing against them. It's just you're more familiar with them, and you get that way. I find that, Roger. You kind of get that way a little.
I mean, on Friday, Tyler's there. On Saturday, Zane's there. On Sunday, Myles is there. And it's like, bullpen guys, they may not pitch for 5 games.
Yeah, you might not see them for 2 weeks.
And then they may pitch 2 times in 3 days. So it's kind of like, but it's kind of like I'm there so much and like have known, get to know everybody. So it's kind of like they're all kind of mine. Like I get asked, particularly on the road. I'm sure y'all have heard people say, "Who do you have play?" They ask me, "Who am I there for? You got a son or grandson now?" But they used to say son. Now they say grandson playing, and it's like no, and whoever's around say just all of them are his. So
they're all
kind of it's baseball's different that way than the other sports. I mean, I love football. I love basketball, particularly Alabama. But you don't get close. You can't.
You don't get the exposure. You can't get close to those. Some of those guys.
I mean, it's a more relaxed sport. Baseball, obviously, because there's some breaks and stuff in there, and it's just kind of like go to the ballpark and just a casual fan's going to sit back and have a beer and a hot dog and peanuts, and you don't get too many casuals at football and basketball.
No.
It's just a lot more intense.
It's a chore. Football games to me have gotten to be just a chore. I mean, and I don't go to many anymore, but it's just an all day ordeal, and the getting in and out is. I mean, baseball's just
it's just easy.
I mean, we internalize it more. Go ahead, Amanda.
Before we got on here, I was watching Riley out he was pitching. And so Derek was downstairs and that's what we were watching, which it's so funny because he's like, it's crazy that we go from this amazing broadcast when they're in college to, I mean, he had to like, I don't know, it was through on his phone. I mean, it was a weird broadcast.
He was using a soup can and a string.
And
somebody filming it with a potato.
It was very strange, but I think that just goes to show how close the families get. I don't know if it's like this at every school, obviously. I mean, we've only been at Alabama, but I don't know if that's the same, but we do have a very family feel. Like it really feels like I said, I mean,
we always have. We've had good families for a long time, and all the time I think, man, it can't get any better than that group, and then the next group comes along, and then like you guys, and all your families, and it's just like it just it is a very family oriented sport, and I think I don't know, it does seem kind of special here in that regard.
I don't know if all staffs are like the coaches and their families, if that's a normal thing or it's very special. I feel
it's a little different, and this staff, extended staff. There's so many young children all around the same age.
Like, I
That they
love
have.
it.
It's like
I
a
love
zoo.
And,
it.
and that's fantastic. And we
Yeah.
haven't had that, you know,
Uh,
in a while.
right. Yeah.
And not anywhere near that many kids at one time.
No. No. Moving on to another topic. This whole podcast originally started as we did it on Twitter Spaces, which
Yes.
so we got on Twitter Spaces as Roger and me, and it's a little more of a kind of wild west because you couldn't really control who was in there as much, and we did it for a good long time, and then Christian Sykes with a Crimson Crossover, good great basketball guy, a lot of. They were doing these basketball podcasts, came to us and said, hey, we'd like to do a baseball podcast. And we were like, hey, let's do it. And I think we came up with the Weekly Joe and the design and everything in about like 3 minutes one day. But it's all kind of about social media because there's college baseball doesn't maybe have the same, the national appeal as, you think about Alabama football. The University of Alabama is what it is because the infomercial that was on CBS on Saturdays for 4 hours, 6 or 7 Saturdays a year in the fall for 15 years under Nick Saban. And that just ginned up interest in the University of Alabama. Basketball's got kind of its own thing, but it kind of amps up in March Madness. Baseball's got its own little kind of these little pods of ecosystems within, just a kind of a niche social media. But social media for you all, I mean, Chi'Cara, talk about social media and how you use social media as far as following baseball, because I mean for college baseball that's kind of how you got to do it, and what is it? Talk about the good and the bad of it, I guess is what we're getting at.
It's funny you asked. This year was the first time I actually signed out of Twitter for a long time. The SEC fans, Alabama fans, SEC fans in general, they're aggressively opinionated, and it's and I just sometimes it's just hard to be on the receiving end of that. So that's just me. I know my son could care less. I don't even think he gets this. But so I'm in and out of Twitter. And I do more so YouTube, I guess, than social media. That's how I kind of keep up with everything. But I do follow the different teams' Facebook pages, all of the teams. And funny enough, after Texas lost to us in Game 3, their fan base was saying "fire Slosh." So all the fan bases are like that. Right. So it's kind of like I know as time goes on, my skin will harden a bit.
Exactly.
But that was kind of like a whoa, just the ebbs and flows of baseball, and you go on a little slide, and everybody's like saying the worst about people you care about and the coaches that you love, and that's been a bit hard for me. So I take social media with a grain of salt. And as far as like what I post on Myles, baseball is such a humbling sport. It's those who are humble and those who get humbled. So I learned not to, like after like a major like success, I learned not to post. I just do one post at the end of the year and kind of give a caption or a summary of like what the experience was like. But you just never go out there and like beat your chest out after like showing, because the next week can be something different. So that's kind of how I handle it.
Very wise.
There probably should be a 3 or 4 hour moratorium on like after a game is over. Don't post anything about that game until it's, because especially after a loss. I mean the things that go through
the Nick
mind.
Saban 24-hour rule would be well.
That's right.
Well,
it's so funny. You said that Myles doesn't go on there. Zane only goes on there to make sure that I'm not making comments.
Amanda got into a little bit of that a year or so ago.
It was when we got poisoned by a certain school when the whole team had food poisoning, and their fan base were being ridiculous. And I'm like, you realize these kids were literally throwing up
on the field.
The field. Like, be excited that y'all won, but come on. Yeah. So I got in a little trouble with that one. But it wasn't towards our fans. It was frustrated and I was just trying to make sure everyone knew that the situation that
it was well worth it. There you go.
But so I don't go on Twitter after a bad game at all. Probably for a week. just because I just don't want to see it. Like it would hurt my feelings, and so it's just better if I don't go out there and see it. And your skin does thicken because like freshman year, honestly, he like got a pass for bad games because he was a freshman. It's like, well, he's a freshman starter, he got a pass. So I feel like each year you kind of get a little bit more thick. Your skin thickens up. It has to, right? But I try not to put myself in a situation to where I read too much.
Yeah. Tiffany, how about you?
Well, like how Tyler really didn't have any, like anybody looking at him or whatever until he got to Alabama or whatever. I looked at social media. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're talking about Tyler. Oh, well, and then he had his first bad outing, and I'm like, oh, they're saying bad things about Tyler. Like, what? And so now I've learned, nope, just stay off of it. And if he has a good outing, maybe I'll look. If he has a bad outing, nope, I stay off of it.
Right. After Florida, you had to.
Oh, you had to. Oh, that was fun.
Florida, I read everything.
That was a good week of.
I couldn't. Y'all have a favorite Twitter account? There's, shameless plug here. I'm assuming
the Weekly Joe for sure.
Of course.
Joe, for sure.
That's good to hear. I really appreciate that. Checks in the mail for our royalties. Speaking of the Weekly Joe. Y'all got to be familiar with it because our catcher Johnny Lynn was familiar with it when we had him on. But our reset the counter post. Does that kind of dig at y'all a little bit? That make fun of when your son throws a ball into over the first baseman's head or into center field on a pickoff throw, and we reset.
No, I like that you're counting because I hate when he throws over.
I'm to the point where I like. Let's just don't pick. and then we'll get a successful pickoff, and then I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I've never.
They have to show it, right? Like especially as the lefty, like and
exactly.
I mean, there were some and Derek was like, no, like they do it bad to get the runner off, and then you do your good one. And Zane was like, what? That was my good one. No, but now it's the whatever's in their hat, the calm. That is what is causing the issues this year. I feel like.
Let's not show them the overthrow down the first base line to get the guy to third. Let's not show them that one, whatever move that is.
So what do your guys think of the pitch com situation? Because they break the catchers and the pitchers are forever having to switch them out.
Yeah, we got tweet for that one too.
One of the announcers thought Zane did it on purpose. Like it was during the Texas game and something was going on, and it was right before he struck out that last one. Like when I forgot. I know someone was on third, and the announcer was like, if this kid did this, like that's really smart of him. I'm like, he did not do this on purpose. Like clearly, you have not watched Alabama baseball because this happens every game.
Paul says that we must get our pitch comms out of the back of somebody's Chevrolet parked at Walmart or something. Because
I never actually asked Tyler what he thinks of it. I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, we had a good when we talked with Johnny. We have Tyler on because we were talking about it after the no-hitter. And he talked a little bit about it. And then we had Johnny on a little bit longer that next week and got a good insight to that on how that goes. All right, this one's a layup for you, Tiffany, and then I'll ask the other two of you. Give me your favorite moment for your guy in an Alabama uniform.
Oh, the Florida no-hitter for sure.
and graduating summa cum laude.
That's right. That's awesome.
That makes me so proud as well.
And maybe he had his uniform jersey on underneath.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about that night because that was just a magical night. It was, and I think what people don't realize is as great a game as he pitched is how clutch that we were 0-3 in the SEC going into that game. All right, we lose that game. Man, the Weekly Joe is going to be pretty nasty that next week. And I mean, like you said, the Twitter accounts and just, I mean, the vibe starts getting back. So, I mean, just winning that game was going to be a big deal, much less sweeping them like we did. But the timing of it and just the way it built up and just talk about that night a little bit and give us your insights because I got a couple of points on that too, but I want to hear from you.
Well, I don't even really remember when I realized that he had a no-hitter going. I think in the 7th inning, honestly, because I thought he was done. And then
because the pitch count, right? Pitch count was up, right around 100, 105 maybe.
Yep. And Wayne Quick was sitting ahead of me, and he said they should send him out for one more batter so he can get a standing ovation.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking, what do you mean? And then I was like, oh, he has a no-hitter going. And so then when he went back out to that 8th inning, I thought, okay, that's what they're going to do. And then he stayed out there, and that's when I got really nervous. And I literally prayed during every batter.
Well,
and
after the 7th inning, I came over and congratulated Brian, and he said, "Oh, he did so great. That's amazing.
Yeah,
what a great outing." And then I go back. No, he's coming back out. And then there's no way they were going to keep him out off the mound when the 9th inning came around.
Yep, exactly. And then that last batter of the 9th inning, he hit that hit, and I'm like,
to my field.
No.
There it goes. Yeah, any contact.
House. And he said that ball was coming just spinning like crazy, and he's like, I can't drop this. I can't drop this.
Yeah. The what a cool moment of that. I mean, y'all probably watched it a million times, and obviously it got retweeted out. Man, hopefully y'all got you don't need a VHS. You can go find it on YouTube or whatever the game now. But they as they're panning the crowd, and again, it was like an SEC Network Plus game, so you didn't have multiple cameras and all, but they panned up in the crowd to the section there. You were kind of center there. It was a dark, it wasn't great lighting up there, but they caught you, and you were just like, I mean,
I was like this. Exactly. I was praying.
I was right next to her, and that's what she did the whole time.
I thought it was a great moment because kind of pictured, and we know you knew kind of, hey, this is really cool to see that. And they weren't making a big, NFL game, and they're looking up there where Mama Kelsey is or somebody. Everybody knows that. Nobody would have known who you were, but it was cool that they caught that moment. And Chloe was like maybe a row or two below you, I think. I talked to Brian. I think I talked to you after the game briefly, and as we were kind of walking out, and I don't think Brian remembered it the next day. It was talk about the blur of that game.
Yes. Well, and I honestly didn't fully appreciate the magnitude of what he had just done until later on. I just thought, wow, he threw a no-hitter, 9 innings. Okay. Yep. And then I realized, when they said that it hadn't been done since 1942, and
Eddie Okar, right? Eddie Okar.
And I'm like, what? This, maybe this was huge, I guess.
And not to mention, it was Florida. I mean, it's not like it was before SEC, a
Vermont.
Different. I mean, it was Florida.
Which is funny because Tyler told you this too. Florida was his dream school.
Exactly.
Growing up, him and Brian would watch Florida baseball all the time.
Chi'Cara, small sample, but so far, your favorite moment for Myles in an Alabama uniform?
I mean, the Texas one was great for me, but I'll say my favorite moment was honestly the first time seeing his name up there and saying the starting pitcher, Myles Upchurch from Odenton, Maryland, and seeing that on the big screen and him running out there. I actually recorded that. That was really special for me.
Nice. Yeah. And Amanda, you've been through the battles. I mean, 3 years of this every weekend. 30 SEC up to probably 28th SEC start coming up, or 29th, whatever it be. How about yours?
So Arkansas, when his freshman year, they were number one, and
on Sunday.
That one was huge, but I wasn't there. Derek and Pierce were there. I was at a cheerleading competition. So the next weekend, that's why I went to Ole Miss by myself. Because I was like, well, if you went there, I'm and Ole Miss, he retired, I think 17 batters in a row. He had a crazy game, and he got left in a little too long, and but he had a really good game. So I mean, last year Georgia was pretty exciting just because I mean, you don't see a lot of emotion out of him, and he showed it.
He showed a little that game.
Yeah, because I guess what happened was JJ came to pull him out, and he said, "No, let me finish this." And he was like, "Well, it's going to be on you. I mean, I'll let you, but it's on you." And he struck him out, and that's why he had so much emotion, because I guess all the guys knew that that happened. And he got a standing ovation this year. Maybe it was Auburn.
He's gotten a couple. Yeah, he's gotten a couple at least.
And those
yeah.
are, there's nothing,
It's
I
always
mean,
cool.
I can't explain the feeling of that. Like it makes me want to cry thinking of
as a fan, I always make a point of, I mean, if I'm the only one up and if we get up and lead it, that's like, just because the effort involved. I mean, again, people talk about pitch counts. I mean, Tyler going 132 that night, or any of these nights, these guys go 105 or whatever. That's 105 plus whatever they did for 3 hours getting ready for that game, plus in and out of the game and throwing, eight warm-ups and then 5 every inning. I mean, it's a, even if they get rocked in the first inning, we'll talk about that. I mean, and how he rebounded from that. But I mean, even if they get knocked out in the first inning, it's a chore.
I think all three of them do a really good job of, I mean, they've all gotten themselves into pickles, and the way that they are composed and can get, I mean, I don't see that from all three starters on every other team.
Not every team. No.
It, I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. You get a lot of
on their face. You don't know if they're rocking it or they're syncing it out.
All three of them are just so calm, like slow heartbeat, as Rob would say.
Right.
Even the young pup.
Yeah,
you get a lot of Sunday games in the SEC. We've always joked about it. The typical Sunday game in the SEC is 14-13 because it's two guys they didn't know who were going to start that game. It's, guy through 2 innings in the midweek game is the starter. He's kind of the opener. I mean, again, I mean, just a remarkable consistency between these three guys and how they've really anchored this pitching staff, really anchored this team, honestly, because the way we're hitting this year, the offensive production, the kind of the defensive lapses, starting pitching's carried this team. And I'll say that to y'all, I'll say that to anybody. And obviously something for y'all to be proud of. And I'm not just saying that because y'all agreed to be on our podcast this week. You're Chi'Cara, the thing I had to ask you, and it was kind of touched on a second ago, talk about how resilient again, short sample. He started 4. This would be 8. I guess it'll be his 13th start maybe this weekend. One of those, that Florida game, he couldn't find the strike zone, right? Goes about 31, 33 pitches that first inning, just couldn't get out of the inning. If he'd have gotten out of that inning, I think he'd have been fine, but he just couldn't get out of that inning. And then we turn around, we find a way to win that game 14-7, and then he's just right back out there. He just doesn't miss a beat. I mean, talk about how resilient and how maybe he probably never had to deal with that before, right? Getting knocked out of a first inning of a game. He's always been the best guy on the field, maybe, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, but there's always an element of resilience, though, right? I think I heard a coach tell me one time, you don't want those guys that need everything great just to be good. And Myles was not birthed from a situation where everything was great for him to be good in high school. He didn't play nearly on like the best high school team, so he had to carry a lot of weight. And so there were a lot of situations where, he was pitching in very challenging situations, whether he was the one that authored them or others. So I don't think the resilience is new to him. He has confidence in himself. I have confidence in him, and I think that's why he's still out there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've been so impressed with Myles, just how, the confidence that he has, the strength that he has as a freshman is incredible. He has a wonderful, awesome future ahead of him. If he already has that level right now, it's amazing.
I mean, Roger, that he hasn't gotten put as TBA or TBD or what, because even Zane's Arkansas game, he was not.
He was TBA, wasn't he?
He was a TBD, whatever.
To be determined.
Yeah.
So,
and Roger, you probably talked to some of these guys a little more than I do. I mean, because you get them before the game or whatever. But I'll say this: if you talk to these scouts that sit up behind us, and I mean,
I talk to them all the time.
I mean, the night of Tyler's no hitter, there were about 30 of them up there because they're mainly probably there to see Florida's guy that weekend because he's such a
he's supposed to be a first rounder.
And stole the show, but when you hear those guys talk about Myles, I think what impresses them is how he can control, 18-year-old, he's 18, 19, whatever, he's out there and the control he has on the changeup and the confidence to throw that changeup on any count. I mean, Amanda, Zane's just now probably gotten to that point. 30 starting, right? I mean, just, he's got great control of it. It took him a while to develop that changeup.
Well, so Zane had a changeup in high school, but I'm sure you probably know with Myles, like in high school, you can't throw a
You can't
changeup
throw,
because their changeup is what
it's
most of
what
the other
you see the rest of the game.
Fastballs are.
their fastballs are. So like the ability to throw it a ton,
We've watched Zane's get better and better.
Better.
Like
Unreal.
fall to spring, like the last couple of years. But they're very impressed with the guys I've talked to with Miles's repertoire, all his pitches, but like they really like the changeup. And,
right. And they know too, the velocity will only go up in, the fast, it's just like your guys has.
I mean, 96.
Yeah. He's hit 96. And I think they just know it's going to kind of regularly stick up there.
Yeah.
Just like your guy, I've seen Tyler hit 96, 96.3, 96.
97. Yeah.
I mean, they're dialing it up. So they know there's more upside. And so they've been really, really impressed. Amanda, talk about how some of those freshman outings getting thrown into the fire in SEC play for Zane. I know he had a rough outing at Auburn. He had a couple of weekends in a row with some rough outings last year. Probably wasn't in the best. I know they had some issues with velocity and maybe just some little health things last year, maybe. But
his Auburn game last year was by far his like any game that he's ever played. Like that was his roughest game. Like for his
whole career,
however many years career.
Yeah.
I was not. Derek was there. So Auburn this year was very important.
Yeah.
Because that has a lot to do with him. Like he didn't want to end on he wanted to beat Auburn. Like he did. And he didn't want to end, he had a lot of really good games last year, but the Auburn and the Florida were bad. And it kind of overshadowed, because like the Vandy game, I don't know if y'all remember that one. Now we ended up losing it, but he held them for, I think 8 innings
yeah.
And we were winning by quite a bit before he came out. The Georgia game, he had a Tennessee. He went toe to toe with Liam. They got his pitch count, but we still won. OU, we won. Mississippi State was the first one that was like, oh,
yeah, that was a rough one. Yeah, a little bit rough.
And then, but all in all, he learned a lot from it, and I think it's made him stronger this year. All around, and his velo, I think he's kept it.
He's held it
later in the games. He had I don't know. He's had fun this year. I know in the fall he tried like really enjoying college versus being like
it was work, a little more like work.
I could tell there was a difference this year. In everything for him.
Yeah. Tiffany, how about you? Coming from, both these guys, their guys both, been starters all the way. Tyler being a bullpen guy in the past and then having kind of evolve into this, has it changed kind of the way you've had to watch the game?
Well, you never knew when he was going to be in or if he was going to be in before.
It's making traveling way easier to know when he's
right.
But now, we don't want to miss anything still.
That's right. Yeah.
But when he was a bullpen guy, I was way more nervous, I think. I would feel that pressure of don't disappoint the starter, I would have that on me, and which I don't know why.
Right.
And I wasn't doing anything. I was not out on the mound. But when he got his first start last year, I think that was against LSU, that was just everything changed.
Different viewpoint of the game.
Level, I think, for his confidence level, I think he's just built as a starter more, and that's what he did all through high school or whatever too. And I think his confidence level went way up. How he can prepare for a game changed. It's different or whatever. How a starter lifts and their routine the week before or whatever is different than how a reliever is. And so everything just got clearer for Tyler, I think. And I think that's when my anxiety level went down. He felt all the confidence in him.
And he throws so many different pitches. He
does,
5 pitches.
4 or 5 pitches.
Which goes more for for a starter than a reliever. And then, and like Paul said, he can ramp it up like later in a game if he needs 97 at some point. It seems like he's
there.
been able to reach back and get it 96 or 97 at times.
Yeah.
And he's just got such an easy arm motion.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember if it was you or one of them, maybe it was even Chloe told me, it was like when his freshman year, he'd come out of the bullpen, and it was kind of the 6th, 7th inning or whatever it was. Electric Feel by MGMT was his theme song.
Mm-hmm.
I love that tune. It was great because it's just, it's just a real cool tune to be warming up to. And then, next year he comes out there and he changed it to something. I was like, Chloe, why did he change his tune? He's like, well, he said that song just gives him bad memories of getting like rocked in these SEC weekends out of the bullpen.
Yep, exactly. I agree with you though. I liked that song. That was a good one.
I liked it too. I wish you go back to it. I really, but yeah.
I wish they would let the moms pick a song just for a weekend.
I wish we've been wanting for years for them to print out each guy in their song.
Yeah.
And like have it available online or on a printed sheet. Some schools do that. It's like it's some big secret or something. I love Myles' song. I love what Myles uses, by the way.
I like a lot of them, and I don't know I don't know any of the pop songs these days. It's just, but some of these things I don't know what they are. But I like them.
What is Tyler's song now?
Tyler's is Green Light by Pitbull.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's Zane?
He's
no idea.
Take me out, Franz Ferdinand.
That's it.
Okay.
And I can't remember what Myles is. It's
Jay-Z.
It's Holy Grail.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. That's it.
I mean, that's perfect for church on Sunday. So.
That's right.
I told him to use Take Me to Church or Take Me to
Church. Yeah.
But he said it was too slow. But I said, if you ever pitch on Mother's Day at home, you got to come out to Chi'Cara.
We've had guys use that. Tommy Seidel.
Tommy Seidel did it. Yeah.
Tommy
did it.
Sure did.
Yep. Hips Don't Lie. Yep.
Hips Don't Lie. And Will Haney.
Will Haney did.
Yeah. Remember Will Haney?
He was a catcher back in the
middle 2014.
Yeah.
15.
I missed this one a minute ago. I wanted to ask about this because it's kind of, I think this will be kind of funny, and maybe the answer is no, but hopefully it's yes. Have you, any of y'all, and again, I mean, you two have been there 3-4 years, you've been there a year. Have you had one of these blindside moments like Leanne Toohey or Sandra Bullock in the movie where you got to go yank up the coach, or how much contact you got with the coaches about things? Some of y'all can be probably pretty vocal or opinion. I mean, you ever had to snatch a coach into shape, whether it's at Alabama or on a team or another team?
Travel ball or high school or anything.
I have not. I
thought
control to the coach.
I don't know Chi'Cara as well, but I pretty well know, man. I thought this might be a yes for Amanda, so I didn't think it would be for you, but let's see.
Definitely not in college or high school. Maybe when he was little, I think there was a time that my dad we were playing out of town, and I think I might have had but I think that was my dad, actually.
Grandpa Dan's the MVP. He's the man.
I don't even want to know how many times he sends you messages.
Y'all couldn't make it without him. I know with all those kids are doing, and one of them's here, and 3 of them there,
awesome.
traveling all over.
Yeah, Chi'Cara, you know the game pretty well, having played, and obviously you talked a lot about it. You had any of those moments where you've had to set anyone straight?
Well, I've always had a rule. I don't comment unless you ask me. And the moment you ask me, I got a list of a lot of things I've seen that need to be worked on. So that's my rule. I don't comment unless you ask me. But the moment you ask me, you're going to hear it. And probably when he was like a little bit younger, I have a thing. I given up a hit on like 1-2-0-2. Like I feel like that's pitch call. That's pitch selection. Yes. Or maybe he didn't, but I need to know what it was. So
you talked to Myles about that after games. I mean, like, oh, hey, what were you thinking? What was this? Do you miss a spot here? Do you get that deep with him?
I get really deep with Myles after games. I always have. He expects it from me.
Good.
Awesome.
So was I just thought of this. Dwayne Ryan was he one of Myles' coaches at times? in
He
summer
was.
ball?
I'm not for long. Dwayne, Coach Ryan coached him for about a year and a half, in between like 14 and 15, like 14,
Okay.
15-ish. Yeah.
So Will Ryan's dad, if y'all,
Yes.
Will Ryan,
not
yeah,
sure who that
okay.
is. So,
Mhm.
but they also had some other guys, right? Some other,
Caleb Barnett played with them.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Will, and then we had a guy that got drafted out of high school that played with them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they had a good team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caleb's from Mountain Brook, where I live, and played, like, if I'm pointing that way, he played about a mile that way at the high school in St.
was he in Pennsylvania still when
He
they
was
were
in
playing together?
Pennsylvania still, yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, back then. Yeah, I think he moved here in like 9th grade, maybe, or thereabout.
But I think he was already committed to Alabama.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
he
he committed like
committed
ninth
early.
grade.
He was a
Yeah,
ninth
early
grade
on.
commit.
Yeah, early on. A couple of others. We've got a long time tonight, but y'all been great. Here's what pisses you off sometime in a game? Did you ever get, like the no run support, errors behind the guys?
Home plate umpire.
What gets to you? Whatever gets to you.
Honestly,
Tiffany, let's start with you.
what got to me the most, I can't remember. Amanda, what game were we at where I wanted to
Kentucky.
punch one of the fans?
Kentucky.
Yes. Oh,
I
wanted to
almost,
punch one of the fans in the face. He was so annoying.
yes, there was a fan at Kentucky that was very annoying Friday night. I was going to bring that up. Like I almost lost it on the guy, and it wasn't my kid. It was, and I still almost lost it on him. Which I'm not a fight. Like I've never been feisty.
Never been a brawler. No.
But it's just like, just be nicer. I don't know.
All 102 pounds of you.
And he did not shut up. And I'm like, okay, I have just about had it. I have reached my limit, dude. You need to shut up.
And she's reached her limit. Like,
I mean, this is Midwest America, sweethearts. Like like the nicest people in the world out there that never say anything bad to anybody.
Well, and that's why I think that Florida was even, because that Kentucky game, the wind was insane.
Yeah.
And no one likes to talk about that, but that wind that night was so crazy. And I think from that, he went from Kentucky to doing a no-hitter against Florida, which amazing.
Right.
But I don't get it with the other players because Zane makes error. I mean, like it's hard to get. I guess maybe y'all yell at the ump, so I don't even need to do that.
and usually, and a lot of times that's just to try to set something up. It's like the coaches do. You're hoping you get in that ump's head, and maybe you get one strike call later in the game that you didn't get. You just remind him and call him by name. So
either that or he holds it against you. That's
right.
That's what I always think. I'm like, okay, that's enough. That's enough. Because we're not going to get enough.
You need to tell that to Hunter.
Yeah. Yes. Chi'Cara, anything just like get to you, about the team around him at times? I mean, does it ever bother you when, oh man, I'll say this, Dylan Smith, great pitcher for us, was, got drafted in 22, Roger, 22. Or was our Saturday guy, his last year. Man, the dude would throw a great game, got no run support. It didn't matter. If we scored 14 on Friday and 17 on Saturday, we put up 2 on Sunday. We put up 2 on Saturday behind Dylan. He got no run support.
He lost so many 1-0 and 2-1 games. He was like 1-8 and had like a 2.4 ERA.
Yeah, things like that ever get to you? I mean, does it ever? I mean, you have to block it out, I guess.
Because that's just baseball. I mean, there's baseball streaky. Not that. I think Roger saw a little glimpse of me. I can go, like, I'm not Midwestern, right? I'm a little bit more spicy. So like if somebody is like verbally saying something to my son, I can go from 0 to 1,000. So I kind of got to check myself to understand this is what it's going to be at this level. Because when Myles was walking out of the Texas game, somebody started like screaming some crazy stuff at him, and I stood up, and I'm ready to kind of go back and forth with you. So, but I'm not going to do that. So I have to already like tell myself, don't do that. But no, that can trigger me a bit because that's my baby,
Yeah, when it comes right down to it, it doesn't matter that he's 4 and
No,
230.
it does
He's
not.
your baby,
That's
right?
my baby. But I think like within the confines of a game, and this isn't an Alabama thing. I just think this bothers me just as the rules of the game. When there's a ball hit and it's completely catchable and it just lands on the ground and they scored a hit. That drives me
Yeah,
nuts. That's
yeah.
not an
Yes.
Alabama baseball thing. That's just
Yeah.
a baseball thing as a whole.
Uh-huh.
If it's a completely playable, catchable ball and it's scored as a hit instead of an error, that drives
Error.
me nuts.
Now,
Yeah.
if your son was a hitter instead of a pitcher, you'd be one.
It's
Oh,
a-
for sure, but I'm on board with everything
No,
she
with
just
the
said.
scoring.
I don't think I fully understand because there are I just wish that it would be scored the way that it looks because
Yeah.
a lot of times my scorebook and what they say on
a little
the
different.
scoreboard
Yeah.
or
We can be a little,
end
little
up
heavier.
being different. We had one
Yeah.
last night that was like that.
Yeah.
and I will
yeah.
say I'm with you. It's just baseball in general because I guess with us being pitchers moms, like even when I watch and Zane's not the pitcher, I'm still like, that's baloney. Like that was not a hit.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. This for Amanda and Tiffany, I'll have we'll follow up on it for you. The okay, both your guys are, obviously they both got a year of eligibility left. It'd be great to have them back. We didn't think we'd have them back last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, we I mean, and God knows what it would look like right now if we hadn't. Your thoughts about, I mean, here comes the draft in June, July, whenever they do it now. What's going through your mind thinking about that, or have you just not even, not even taking the time to think about that's coming up?
Honestly, last year it took some of the joy out of the season for us. So this year,
Yeah, because Zane, I'm interrupted, but Zane was a draft eligible sophomore just based on his age, the way they do that,
yes,
right? Yeah, so yeah.
yes, and I think it just took a little bit of joy out of the season, and we tried, even with Zane, like don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Don't, that I really have tried not thinking about like I honestly like there'll be times like when we had those few weeks of scuffling, I'm like, gosh, I just want to make it to the postseason.
Yeah,
like
just get there. Yeah.
Because I don't want this to be
You don't want to end badly. Yeah.
what I think about is if he does get drafted and this being over, like it's been so much fun. And like I want them because I know the boys want it, I know the coach at the school. And for selfishly, like I enjoy the weekends with our baseball family and like I just want it to keep going. And
it's inevitable, obviously, when your guys are as talented as your sons are, that it's gonna happen and come, and it's changing a little bit. Maybe some guys are staying their full eligibility now, but the top guys are third year or that draft year, they're gonna go. And I've talked to a lot of kids that wanted so bad to get drafted, and they got drafted. And then they started riding buses for 20 hours a day. And
Eating on $8 per diem.
bologna sandwiches and chicken sandwiches out of a soggy cooler, like Bryce Fowler said in junior college. And I've seriously had some of them say, why did I want to get out of here so bad? I mean, we had it so good.
Yeah.
I mean, they have great food. They have great,
training staff.
I mean, obviously, it's their career and you got to make that step and you got to do it. But, sometimes be careful what you wish for. But it's the logical next step that they have to take to get to where they ultimately want to be.
Yeah.
And, when you're as talented as your guys are, when they get drafted, they're going to have a lot of money thrown at them. So, that's
exactly.
That's going to be a big decision. But, there's obviously never any hard feelings when they, from any of the any logical fans when when a guy decides to do that. I mean, it's like, hey, you got to,
taking good.
If your job offered you $2 million, $1 million, whatever the number is, you're going to take it. So, it's always it's always bittersweet. You know, you love them being here, and like you said,
Yeah.
you get such camaraderie with all the other families and the boys, and it's just great. And that's changed some too, though, because there's so many
Transfers.
guys that
Guys in
like
a year at a time.
you have rent a guys,
You rent a guy a year, whatever.
you know, and which is just part of it now. I mean, you gotta, and they, you know, the guys that have come in, they seem to have like
Mhm.
integrated in with the
Mhm.
other players, and the guys that are just going to be here a year even, or have really seems like they all get along real well, and
Yeah.
they're but there's something special about being with the group for 2 and 3 and 4 years.
Yeah, 3 and 4 years. Yeah, absolutely.
Amanda, I'm thinking even if Ty and Zane aren't there, we could still show up.
Y'all come on. Yeah,
fully plan on it. With Derek and I mean,
Good to see Myles.
I enjoy it, and there's still with the kids that Myles and Big E, and the ones that are not draft eligible, like I love, they're like the sweetest kids, and so we definitely will have some girl weekends.
Absolutely, we're gonna show up next year for sure.
Yeah, well, you just let us know.
Yeah, Chi'Cara, obviously Myles was pretty highly touted draft prospect out of high school, and could have. I mean, talk through that process a little bit or briefly, just how, the whole idea of it. If I put out a signal to the teams, hey, here's my number, or here's my, if I could go to a certain team at a certain level, I would jump at it, and kind of how that worked in y'all's mind, or was he just dead set, I'm going to Alabama?
No, so the draft's on a Sunday. And on Saturday, what the numbers we were being told were in our range, and I thought we were going to bypass college. Sunday came, and as they know, what you see on the draft is not really the draft, right? Everything's negotiated ahead of time.
Scene.
Yeah, and ahead of time. So I think the draft started at 6. Our guys called us at 3 with a whole lot of money, and there were 8 teams in rounds 3 through 5. And out of nowhere, Myles was just like, "No thanks." He didn't flinch. He didn't nothing. And I was like,
yeah,
like I had to catch my chest a bit. Like, wait, what?
I got up to go to the bathroom. Like, we were sitting there, and it was in the second round, and I came back.
It says high school or last year?
High school.
Okay.
And he's like, "Mom, I got a call." And I was like, I was like, "Yeah, you're joking." Like, I was gone for literally 2 minutes. And he was like, "No." And evidently, like, per Derek, and he's like, "No, sir, thank you." And he turned, and it was second round. And then he got that night, because it was the first 2 rounds on day 1, and then day 2 was 30.
So the next day,
the first one for the round 3, he got called, and it was a higher offer than his second
before.
round.
Yeah.
And
wow.
I honestly, I had a harder time because you have all of these people saying that if a kid gets offered that, they got to take it. Pictures, they don't have that bullets in there, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, I struggled. Zane did not struggle. Zane, he prayed about it. He said, if it's not exactly this, then I'm going to school.
Let him out. Yeah.
And he stuck to it. His advisor was so supportive. Derek was I was like, what? Like, I just didn't know. I was I was allowing outside noise to come in a little bit, and worried that he didn't make the right decision. But then literally the minute, when we showed up, because I had for college, his dorm stuff, and then for if he went with the draft. And so when
because this is July, right? This is July, so you're going in
and they allowed Zane to start summer school. So all the boys the freshmen were already up there.
Already there. Yeah.
And so I wanted Zane to go up there early, but we had to wait for the draft. So they let Zane take an online class so he could still do if he wanted to go up there after the draft.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we called by Tuesday, we had called, and I was like, got it. His dorm sheets and everything in the washing machine will be there tomorrow. And every coach was when our car got there, they were there. They unloaded our car, and I was like, at that moment, I was like, this was God's plan, like 110%.
Yeah.
I think that's when I met y'all at the field the first time. I don't know if you remember that.
It was during like a inter squad scrimmage.
Yeah, the first time. Then y'all were, I don't know if y'all were in for a visit or that was when y'all were bringing him.
Yeah.
I remember meeting you, and maybe Pierce was with you, maybe. Not sure, but I know I met you. I know you and Derek for sure.
Yeah.
So Tiffany, first maybe go around on the draft. I mean, maybe you got some inquiries last year. I don't know. I mean, is this kind of the first draft exposure, you think? And again,
no, he went through the draft last year.
He's a redshirt junior. He could stay, right?
Yep, he could. I know last year, the draft, we were super excited for it. He was told that he was probably going to be getting calls between the 4th and the 8th round.
Yeah.
And so, like, we were so excited. We had the day off. Like, we were all together, the 3 of us, Brian and I and Tyler. And that was the worst day. Like, it was so stressful. Stressful.
Yeah. It's rough.
And so he started getting calls, I think it was the 9th round. They were pretty low offers. And the coaches had all just come to our house like a day or two before that.
Yeah. Try to reinforce a little bit. Yeah.
And actually, when the coaches came to our house, that was the first time Tyler was ever recruited. Isn't that so crazy?
Oh, I love that.
Like, recruited to come back to Alabama.
Yeah.
But so that day was so stressful, and he does not want to like have that stress again. And so we are all like, so Chloe's family and us, we're all just going to be all together, and we're going to spend the day at the pool, at their apartment, chill. And just hang out and chill and not even worry about it.
What happens, happens, right?
That's it.
Yep. Whatever
That's a
happens.
good way to do it. Good way to do it.
So how, obviously we all know and love Chloe. So how's it been having a daughter-in-law while they're in college?
It's the best. It's wonderful. She is such a rock for Tyler. Like, she keeps him calm. She keeps him grounded. She keeps him focused on God. I couldn't ask for a better daughter-in-law. She's just
that's great. That's great.
I love her.
She's great.
She's the best.
Amazing.
He made him his favorite cookies today. So that's pretty cool.
Now she can find someone for Zane. We know
there you go. Find her, get a friend. In closing, let's do this in closing. Alabama baseball 2026. What is this team's ceiling, Chi'Cara?
Oh, championship.
Going to Omaha. Actually, last time in Omaha. Yeah, 1999. Last time in Omaha. What is this?
I'm sorry, a funny story. When I first met Will Plattner's dad, he recognized my picture. He was like, "You must be Myles's mother," and we exchanged for a second. And then I was like, "All right, well, if I don't see you again, I'll see you in Omaha." And he caught him so off guard. He was like, he literally was like, "Omaha." He was like, "The only thing that the only thing that's promised in baseball is like, I don't know, it's like another at bat or something like that." I said, "Oh no." I was like, "We got to speak this into existence." I was like, I will see you in Omaha. So every time I see you now, I'm like, I'll see you in Omaha. Yeah.
We drive past that stadium on our way to the airport every time we fly to Alabama. And I look at it and I'm like, we'll see you in June. We'll see you. Right. And Brian's dad has been in and out of the hospital and has not been able to watch Tyler in person. And actually, the last time that he came with us to Alabama, he went to Hoover with us. And that was 2 years ago. And we lost our first game, and so we were out, and so he didn't even get to see Tyler throw.
South Carolina.
So he lives in Bellevue, which is right outside of Omaha, and so when we get to Omaha, he will get to watch Tyler.
That's awesome. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Amanda, you got a ceiling for this team?
Omaha. Of course.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, you think about what it takes to get there. The SEC tournament, it kind of ends up being an exhibition. Unless in our case, it's playing for, say, a top 8 seed. Let's assume we're a regional host. I mean, let's assume the next 2 weekends go well. Maybe the SEC tournament can vault you into into a top 8, and then you're hosting a regional, maybe you're hosting a super regional. I don't know if we can get there. I mean, it seems seemingly could, but you got to go on a real
RPI
heater.
is pretty good.
Yeah. RPI is sitting at 5, even with that loss last night. So I mean, and it is heavily considered in it, but it is a grind.
Want to get out of a regional because
yeah,
that's all the fans like to talk about, is that we can't
haven't won a regional game.
Yeah.
And so I would really like
I'll tell you what, Tyler was only one around, but even with Richard, but 2023, just hosting a regional, there's nothing like it.
No.
I mean, because it had been 2006 before that for us.
Wow.
And we hosted regional and a super that year.
And a super that year.
Had a fantastic team, but a really, really good North Carolina team that should have been hosting a super of their own. Vitas and Teppas out of Omaha.
Yeah, we that super region. I mean, to me is probably still aside from Tyler's no hitter that weekend. I mean, that's by far the most memorable Alabama memory of it. But that super region, or I'm sorry, that regional, and just the grind of that weekend, because it rained like hell every day, and so our games were starting at 9 and 10 o'clock and going into 1 and 2 in the morning. It was unreal.
I have a question for y'all, because one of the parents brought this, a past parent, that they do not want, they don't want to be number 16th.
No, because then you played
kind of got screwed.
They had to go to Wake Forest.
We did. That was the most. Wake Forest is the worst place I've ever been to.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
We
should have been 11 or 12 seed.
Well, Auburn's AD was in charge of the committee that year. Yeah. We beat Auburn 3 out of 4 times. It had better metrics, and they were like they
were like 11, 12.
11. Well, I mean, last year we
were 16th. And we should have. We definitely had better metrics than Southern Miss and beat them head to head.
I don't understand. That doesn't make sense to me.
That makes sense.
They have a strange love affair with Southern Miss. D1 baseball does, and the committee does.
Yeah,
I guess
they're wanting them to host again this year.
Well, I don't think 16 would be bad, because then we would be matched with UCLA in a super.
Yeah,
and they are hanging on. I mean, they're not playing a weak competition, and they're barely. I mean, they are winning, but they're barely winning. I think the moment they match up against a SEC team, they're going to have troubles.
Yeah. I do. Not a lot of quad 1 games for those guys. I mean,
no.
Now, what I don't like is a couple of the projections.
Yeah.
Two different people had us with different seedings, like 6th and 11th. But both of them had us matched up with Auburn in the Super.
I don't want to. I ended on such a great note. I don't want to.
And that would be at Auburn too. So.
Yeah.
It's so funny that those are never, ever, all the predictions are never even close to what really comes out. So I don't even care what they have.
Well, and there's still 2 weeks. There's a lot of games.
2 weeks to play. Yep.
2 weeks
and it all starts Friday. I mean, again, you got 3 at South Carolina. All your guys are going full go this weekend. Hopefully the flu bug or whatever that's running through.
Yeah, hopefully they're all healthy.
Yeah, let's hope we get them all back.
Zane's isn't contagious. Zane's was a sinus infection.
Just sinus. It's good. Yeah. So hopefully we get them all back and get everybody kind of geared up, because it feels like a little bit of a trap series. A team with not a hell of a lot to play for, but they'd probably like to make your season miserable. But if you can come out of that in pretty good shape, you're
and they've played somewhat better since they got rid of Maneri, but. Yeah. I mean, they've been up and down, but they've had moments where they've beaten good teams.
I think their Friday night guy's pretty good.
Yeah, they got good pitching. The pitching is not bad. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Yeah, and then Ole Miss has just got arms for days, but and it's a little bit of a mystery why they're not a little better than they are. But
I know they have some home run bats too. I mean, they have some power.
Yeah, so a lot to play ahead. You got those 6. You got the SEC tournament, hopefully hosting that regional, and it all kind of starts up this weekend. In closing, happy Mother's Day to all you guys. We love you. We're glad to have your guys here. We hope it's been a great experience at Alabama. Been great getting to know y'all, and we really appreciate you being on with us. And we hope you have a great Mother's Day at the ballpark for church on Sunday, guys. This road weekend.
Thank you so much.
This has been one of my favorite episodes.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite ones we've ever done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
love you guys.
Absolutely.
Y'all carried it. You dragged me and Paul along. And
y'all are great. We might bring y'all in for guest host roles. If you're open to that, we'll definitely do that. for some other time. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, to Amanda Adams, Tiffany Fay, Chi'Cara Upchurch, Roger Myers, not a mother, but we'll wish him one as well. To my wife and my mom, who were both here a little bit earlier. We thank you for joining us on the Weekly Joe. Let's go get South Carolina this weekend. Let's get Ole Miss, and let's all have a great Mother's Day. Thank you
Roll
for joining.
Tide.
Roll Tide.
See you next time.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Swing it, boys, swing for the fence. Shove it, boys, shove it, boys, make 'em miss. Some big league chew and a baseball souvenir. Come on, sing with me now. The Joe is home, sweet home. It's roll, tide, roll. The Joe is home, that's right. Home, sweet home. Hey, look, is that Roll Tide Willie over there? Well, it's Bama Blitz.